All right, peoples, you know him, we love him. Friend of the stream, Charlie Kirk. We haven't talked about him too long, but I kind of plan on getting back into the normal, well, something that we've done a long time ago on this stream, which is, do wellness checks on the local conservative weirdo freak talking head of the day. I just like to do it every now and again. We call them wellness checks. All right. And so we used to do a lot more wellness checks before, other things got in the way and we started doing more put together segments. But I wanted to do a little wellness check again. We need to re-up on wellness checks. So we haven't seen these guys in a little while. So we need to, knock on a couple doors and ask a couple questions and see how they're doing. Maybe offer a cup of tea, something like that. And I thought we would start a good round of wellness checks with a good friend of the stream. You know him, you love him, Charlie Kirk, owner and founder of TP USA, right-wing talking head, more likely than not going to try to run for president at some point in time, YouTube personality extraordinaire, Charlie Kirk, tiny face, some people may call him, the guy who got his wife by basically sexually harassing a coworker and saying that she couldn't work there, but she could bear his children. And so somehow that worked, but she is a conservative, so that is not really super surprising. Charlie Tiny Face Kirk. That's what many people call him. It's like a mob name, They call him Tiny Face. It's like Baby Face or like Two Dicks. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, he's wearing a pretty crazy pinstripe suit here. But I want to talk about something even more crazy than his fashion style, which is how people treat him in real life. He spends a lot of his time online and around people who completely agree with him. So when these types of talking heads step out into the real world and to people who disagree with them, it's always something interesting that I like to look at, because the juxtaposition between huffing your own farts in your own echo chamber and going out into the world where you have to speak to real human beings and coming to grips with the reputation that you've made for yourself by being a terrible person to everybody that you meet comes back to bite you. And boy, has it bitten. It's nibbled, even chewed, and even, may I say, gnawed away at friend of the stream Charlie Kirk, because my boy went to a college campus to epically own the liberals and the communists, but he only ended up with hoofing it back to his car because he was booed and heckled off of the campus so bad that he could barely get in a word in edgewise, and it was the funniest thing I've seen in my entire life. We should take a look at it, okay? Because it's good. And their attempts to get back at the college students was genuinely hilarious. Charlie Kirk, who has never gone to college, who does not have a degree, not because he can't and not because he doesn't have the money, but just because he simply does not believe that college is a real thing that would actively help human beings, even though like every conservative is this massive STEM lord who thinks that like real sciences are like ones and twos and not actual things like humanities and sociology and things along those lines, because those are fake sciences run by liberals, even though they don't like to talk about the studies that come out of the other sciences, because then like biology, because that one doesn't really necessarily abide by their ways of thinking too often. Reality, it has a left-wing bias way too often than they would like. Anyways, conservative commentator Charlie Kirk receives a less than warm welcome during a recent college visit as students gathered to voice their displeasure at the controversial personality visiting their campus. Welcome home, buddy. Isn't it funny how people are calling us fascists are the ones trying to shut down our free speech? Thanks for the warm welcome, North Arizona University. Listen, here's the thing, okay? Conservatives never cared about free speech. They care about free speech insofar as they can say things to get themselves power and then limit free speech. That's why all right-wing governments push for less free speech. What is a large right-wing government that has expanded the rights of free speech? It just does not work. It doesn't happen. Okay? I mean, even if you look at places like Twitter now, and like how Elon would like to say that it's a free speech haven. Like, what, the guy who was tracking his jet through publicly known information about where the jet takes off and lands from got deleted. Like, prominent left-wing activists who report on things Elon Musk don't like get deleted. Elon Musk bans people more than ever now based on what governments tell him to ban, because he thinks that he shouldn't go against federal governments because he wants more money from those governments and subsidies for Twitter to operate in their countries instead of actually abiding by any actual free speech laws. What they mean by free speech is having the right to call you a slur and joke about sending a bomb threat to you, and then oops, actually a bomb threat did actually happen. Who could have seen that coming? That's what conservatives mean by free speech. They play around with words. They know what they say don't mean that much very often, but they still like to say it because what saying something and putting out a lie is better than staying silent and allowing the truth to get too far, because that's dangerous for them. So yeah, fuck off, fascists. Fuck off. Listen, here's the thing. This is how I know they don't genuinely care about free speech, and here's the proof of it. All right? How is this fascist to call you a fascist? Isn't that free speech? Free speech to them is I get to speak and you are forced to listen. Conservatives don't want the freedom to speak. They want the right to be listened to. And that's a very clear distinction that you need to understand, is that when it comes to free speech, you can say whatever you want. Go onto the street, go to your local government-owned building that's not in a right-wing state, because in a lot of right-wing states, they ban protesting on federal property, which also are on federal and state property, which makes literally no sense because it's owned by the people. But you know, those conservatives in their love of freedom, I guess, did that. They don't like the idea of you talking back, because you talking back sucks up air from them to continue to speak. That's why they get so mad when they say things like this, and they call you a fascist for speaking out against them, because fascism to them is when you don't let them do fascism. And it's just curious. It's so funny. It's so funny. Trans rights equal human rights, fuck off fascists. But apparently that's the real fascism. All right. Jack fucking Posebiak. I saw this guy. Jack Posebiak has the same aura that I would imagine literal Satan has. I went to a Better Discourse conference, basically a debate conference about politics in Texas, and Posebiak was somebody who was on stage talking. And when I tell you that this guy is fucking insane, it was wild, dude. He had the aura that you would imagine. You know, the aura that you can imagine somebody when they walk by a vase full of roses. The roses simply begin to wilt in his presence. Yeah, he had Antichrist vibes. It was just kind of like emanating off of the stage. It was like I could feel his bloodlust creeping onto my feet. I didn't like it. But look at him. Look at his attempts to get back at the college students. Charlie Kirk laughs as mob of smelly, stinky, ugly, overweight SJWs scream, F you. Oh man, he's so epic. My people. Wait, who said? Did you hear that? Get the fuck out of here! Yo, I thought this was University of Arizona, not Boston. Did you hear it? Get the fuck out of here! You get the fuck out! I'm walking here. I'm learning here. You piece of shit. Once I get my hands on you, why I oughta, you piece of. I'ma give you the works. You motherfucking. Don't sleep with one eye open tonight. You piece of. Kids with they blue hair and they pronouns and they middle fingers. So, and Charlie Kirk, I promise you, is going to call this, and I promise you, they're calling all of this fascism. They're calling this fascism. This is the largest display of free speech that I've ever seen in my entire life. This is the epitome of free speech. Real free speech, like genuine, actual, like, free speech that conservatives are pushing for would be the right to use your speech to silence others. That's what real free speech would be. Because if you can just say basically whatever you want, then you can use your speech to get at other people to silence other people. But they would like want to be like, oh, you can't do that. You have to put rules on it. But like now where the rules stop, that's no longer free speech. That can't be free. By definition, it can't be free speech. By what they would like. Like, to have free speech, you have to have some guardrails for people to not speak, because silencing some people allows more people to be able to speak. If there's one conservative kid in a room full of liberals and they all voice their opinions about how conservatives should be hung, and then the one conservative kid doesn't want to speak up in the class because he fears for what possibly could happen if he does in retaliation to him speaking. That's not real free speech, because, well, to conservatives that'd be real free. Well, in conservatives' minds, the idea would be that would be real free speech, because you can use your speech however you want. But then in practice, they realize that they can come back to bite them, so they want to add new rules and new cutouts, and that's what Elon Musk did when it comes to Twitter. I want to use it as an example because simply it's just like a fantastic example. There hasn't been any other really better example for this idea than Elon Musk and Gab as well, and Truth Social and Patriot Talks or whatever. And there was another like conservative app where conservatives are supposed to speak their conservative mind, where they did things like banning talks about sexuality, or banning you for expressing like other opinions of like your religion that isn't like specifically Christianity, or talking down about Donald Trump or something. Like, these are real things that are happening. They don't actually believe in free speech. They never have. They never will. Those aren't free speech platforms. They're platforms for Nazis and racists and rapists to be able to find and meet and mingle. It's a rapist mingle, okay? And you will never convince me that it's otherwise, because it's been proven time and time again that that's simply what it is. Kirk's attempt at open debate mostly fell flat, as protesters ensured he would be drowned out. But if you think any of this bothers a right-wing mouthpiece, you're probably not familiar with any of his past work. I'm going to tell you this now. Yes, it does bother him. Now, bother him in the sense of he's going to like sulk into his like room and cry and never be seen again? No. Bother him in the sense of it makes him sad and upset? Yes, it actually does. They are actually genuinely upset. They hate this type of stuff. They do, because he wasn't able to do what he was really there for, to make money, get clips, and make money off of it, or nowhere near as well as he could if he was able to get like clip after clip after clip after clip. He can just get one of him getting shouted down, and maybe get like a few others about him standing so strong against people who are so very angry and mean with him. Poor baby. And there's this one as well where he tried to pull some bullshit. Just so you know, I love free speech. If you're against this, then you're against free speech. I hope you know that. This is the epitome of free speech. How are you going to walk into a place where people obviously don't like you, and then stand there, and then those people make it clear that they don't like you, and then go, they were so epically owned. I can't believe none of them got into a single file line to calmly talk to me about why we need to stop brown people from coming into the country because it's diluting the white gene pool of America. Curious, ain't it? Incredible how none of them would do that. Yeah, it's wild. It truly is. So true, Mr. Kirk. You really got them there. You really got them there. And they made some more signs. I was not expecting them to make so many signs. If this happens everywhere they go, it'll be fantastic. I remember when this happened to Poo Poo Bennett. Remember when this happened to Dookie Bennett, where she tried to go to a college campus after she brought a gun to her college campus that recently suffered a mass shooting to be edgy and cool. And then she got shouted down so far and so fast and got made fun of for pooping her pants in the middle of a party that she locked herself in the freezers she locked herself in the freezer of an Einstein bagel shop on campus. Oh, it was so good. I mean, this is embarrassing. Charlie Kirk is a piss baby, changing my mind. Just so you know, this is a reference. It's a reference to when Charlie Kirk and crew wore diapers at a college event in order to epically own the libs. I'm not joking. Here, let me find the picture for you. For the people who don't remember this. Liberty Hangout, the actual Liberty Hangout. Shout out to TPUSA at Kent State University, showing what the liberal SJW safe spaces look like. I just boom in my diaper to own the libs. I just shit myself to own the libs. I've been shitting myself for the last 20 minutes to own the libs. The libs can't handle all the shit that I'm shitting. This was actually so bad that this guy, one of these guys had to quit TPUSA because they were actually ran out of the profession. being a right-wing talking head, that it was that annoying. It was that embarrassing. Oh, they claim to have no ties to the alt-right. Oh, blah. The diaper stunt fits into Kirk's notion of being a right-wing idea. Sorry, of bringing right-wing ideas to those who disagree with him. In a 2015 interview with the National Journal, Kirk said the conservative groups need to do more than just host chapter meetings and speaking to the choir. There are more young conservatives out there that you need to be able to reach. It's very visible, very aggressive, and very grassroots. It's very face-to-face, he added. If Kirk, in fact, is the future of the Republican Party, then the next few years should be very interesting indeed. My diaper is full. That's a real adult diaper right there, just so you know. Honestly, I'm far in. I don't know how to potty. Oh my lord. The 24-year-old has founded TPUSA. To demonstrate this, members of his group decided to wear diapers last year at Kent State University to protest to, own the libs. On the hot topic of college safe spaces, however, as expected, the diaper protest became a meme of Republicans wearing diapers. Later that night, Tucker Carlson said, "Why do loony academic libs hate the classic diaper?" Paul Prison Planet, "I'm wearing 6 diapers. Are you mad?" What the fuck? Ooh, no, it's deleted. No, dude. Big government sucks. So true. Oh, it was so good. And they call trans people degens. It's just like they actually can't stop themselves. The author's poorly hidden kink. They can't control themselves. They have to shit in the diaper. They must. Well, there you go. New conservative L. You love to see it. Add it to the pile. I mean, will this be the end of them? No, but I just thought it'd be a really funny story. These people are so sad and pathetic. They have to make the world a worse place because they can't handle how bad they make it themselves. Yo, fuck these people. Tucker and his Pampers. You were still pee in your Pampers when I was much better than you. I'm not mad. I'm just disturbed. I bet they really own the libs with that one. I think they should put diapers on again. I really do. Like, if they owned the libs so hard that first time, I think they can do it another time. Maybe that's why he was getting yelled at so much. He wasn't wearing the diaper. They should have brought diapers for him to put on again. I think it would have done well for him. But, that's just me. We all have thoughts and opinions, right? I just wish he wasn't able to share his. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.